Hey guys, welcome. We're going to focus on binds today in practice. And sometimes binds can be a little counterintuitive, especially when we're working into the shoulder in this area that feels like our natural inclination is to make more space, right? Because we often have some hunched posture going on. But it's the compression that the binds create that then help us find the space and the freedom in that area after, right? This wringing of the tissue that gets a little bit more blood flow going, lymphatic flow moving after the pose. So I just really invite you to notice as we practice today, where is that compression? Where are we putting that within the space of the tissue? And then what does that do for you after? And that might be right after the pose, and that might be later today. It might have that cumulative effect as we go. So you'll want to have something to use for a strap. If you've got a regular strap, great. A belt or a scarf, as always, work well. And a block or two handy if you have them. All right, we're going to start standing up at the front of the mat. We'll go through a couple sun salutations to begin, just to get everything warmed up a little bit, blood flow moving, and just get into that steady rhythm of breath. So you can stand with feet together, feet hip width. Bring your arms by your sides, and then roll your shoulders open so that your palms face forward and your thumbs turn out, right? So let there be some space in the shoulders to start with. Give a little squeeze of your shoulder blades back. Root through your feet, lengthen up through the top of your head. And start to find the places that feel strong and engaged. So pressing down to your feet, tone through your belly, and then bring your attention to your breath. Take a couple fuller, deeper breaths without forcing anything. And we'll just start to link breath and movement. So find the place that feels right for you. Take a full breath out. And then inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Hinge at your hips, fold forward, exhale. You might keep eyes even softer closed. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. All right, tone belly, open chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, anchor your feet, reach up through your arms. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Reach up, inhale, stay rooted through your feet. Good, open chest, long spine, fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, take a breath in. So really press through your feet, lengthen out through the top of your head. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Your breath rhythm might be different from my cues. Listen to your body. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, long spine. Let each movement take the full length of breath, even these smaller movements, right? Exhale to fold, plant hands, step back, high plank. Take a full breath in, root through your fingers. And then exhale either with bent knees or straight legs, lower all the way down. Cobra pose, inhale, press through the tops of your feet. And then exhale, lower down, stretch back, downward facing dog. And then take about 3 full breaths in your first down dog. And either hang out in stillness or you can take a little bit of movement and start to get a sense of how your body's doing at the beginning of practice today. Next, inhale, come to your toes. Bend your knees, exhale, walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, long spine, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. That's good. Another one like that. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Your breath, your rhythm. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale, hands down, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Hips in line with shoulders, lifted through your belly, breath in. And then exhale, lower all the way down, point your elbows straight back. Good, cobra pose, inhale, so lift up through your head, chest, shoulders, maybe a tiny little back bend to start. You might coil up a little bit further, see what feels right. Exhale, lower down, stretch back, down dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale to toes. Deep bend in your knees. Exhale, look forward, walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands together at your heart, exhale. Let's add on a little bit from here. Sweep up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back. Left knee down to your mat. Good. Both arms up overhead. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. We're just going to move with breath here. Exhale, hands down. Step back, plank, right? That doesn't mean you need to rush or hurry. Just match it to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Good. Cobra pose. Finding that steady repetition. Exhale, lower down. Stretch back, down dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Steady rhythm. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Step all the way through. Right knee down. Inhale, both arms up, Anjaneya. Exhale, hands to your mat. Lift your back knee. Take a big step forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. You can keep hands to mat or shins or even thighs, just somewhere for support. Exhale, fold, right? You can always bend knees here for a little more space. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. And reach up, inhale, one more here. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, right? Full breath in. And then exhale, fold, step your right foot back. This time, keep your knee lifted. Inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back, plank. Full breath in. Right, and you can come all the way down like we've been doing, or lower, halfway chaturanga. Inhale, come through cobra, maybe upward facing dog. And then exhale, up and back, down dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, right leg up, straight and strong. Exhale, knee to nose, step all the way through. Good. Inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your mat. This time, step straight back, down dog. Good work. Full breath in. And then go ahead, bring both knees down to your mat, tabletop. And just walk your hands back until it feels like your hands are stacked right under your shoulders. Hips over knees. And find a little tone through your belly for support. Okay, so we'll start to get into some gentler binds within the shoulders. So listen to your body, see how it feels. And with your inhale, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, thread it all the way behind your right arm. Come to rest on the side of your head. This might also be a great place for a block, a blanket, or a pillow underneath your head if the mat feels really far away. Okay, and then we'll start to get into some of this shoulder position that we'll work with a fair amount today. And it says you inhale, reach your right arm up, and then turn your thumb towards the back of your mat. So your palms facing behind you. And then bend your elbow, reach around. So your hand might come to your low back. It might wrap around a little further to the crease of your thigh. Don't worry about where it gets to. Listen to what feels like the appropriate place in your body. And then you want to maintain some engagement through your left hand. And so you've got the back of your left hand down, and then press into the back of your hand, roll your right shoulder, right ribs up. Take a full breath. Use your inhale, unwind. Come back tabletop. Stretch your left arm all the way up. And then both hands down to your mat. Okay, second side, right arm up, inhale, feel the space first. And then thread it behind your left. Come to rest on the side of your head. You reach your left arm up. Turn your thumb back and then reach around. Right hand to low back. Maybe it wraps around to the crease of the thigh, but just maybe. You press down into the back of right arm, right hand, and then roll your left chest open. And so binds really get us into this internal rotation of the shoulders, which we just don't use as much kind of in our day-to-day. So great to maintain that range of motion. Use that during our practice. Okay, inhale, unwind, come back to center. Stay for your exhale and find that root of your hands, tone of your belly. Take a full breath in. And then you're going to keep your hips high, stacked right over your knees, and walk just your hands forward, heart melting pose. Right, so this might be another great place for a block underneath your forehead. If your forehead comfortably comes to the ground, great. If a little support there would be helpful, do that. Keep that tone through your belly to support the back bend here. And then you can have your hands straight forward or take them out just a little bit wider, more like a V shape, see what works. And press down through your palms. And then let the center of your chest soften. But at the same time, create this little bit of resistance, almost like you could lift your armpits up towards the ceiling. They're probably not going to move a lot. We're working to create the space in the tissue after the compression. Take another full breath. And walk your hands back. And this time, press into your hands, stretch up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, this down dog though, walk your feet in a little bit more. So you're going to take this short, wide down dog, walk your feet to the outer edges of your mat. And then press into your right hand. Bring your left hand across to right leg. This one always makes me think of Twister. We're putting right hand here, left hand there. So you might grab thigh or calf or ankle. You can even step in a little bit shorter stance if that's helpful. And then really root your right hand down and forward. Press your heels back and start to twist and look out underneath your right arm. A couple full breaths. Right, so we want to think these places sometimes might feel a little awkward. Fine, awkward's great. Pain, no, we move away from, right? So start to be mindful, aware of where that edge is in your body. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, switch sides, left hand across to right. Nope, right hand across to left leg. Maybe press your left hand down and forward and send your heels down. They may or may not touch, that's fine. Twist out underneath your left arm. And so to start to learn where those cues are in our body is like, where's enough, where's too much. Breath is usually a really good cue. Can you still maintain a steady rhythm? And can you still feel like that place where your body's not tensing up against the pose? Good. Unwind, inhale. Stay for your exhale. And just walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Press down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bring hands together at your heart. Reach up, inhale. Hinge, fold, forward, exhale. Lift halfway, root your feet, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, step your right foot back. Right, all the way back, sit up on the ball of your foot. Take a breath in here, low lunge. And then exhale, pivot your feet to the long end of your mat. And you might take a moment to line up your feet so that your feet are parallel. Your toes are pointing straight forward so that the outer edges of your feet line up with front and back of your mat. Good. And then hinge and fold in. You may even bend knees a little bit here. And then you're going to take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Give yourself a little bend in your elbows. And with that bend in the elbows, can you work your palms towards one another? But at the same time, you're going to traction your elbows apart from one another to broaden that space in the shoulders and the collarbones. You can keep your thumbs right there at your low back. You could stretch your knuckles up and over. So we are starting to create some space here again before some of the binds. And press strongly through your feet so you really get that support of the legs to help support what's happening in the upper body. Let your head get heavy. And just stay connected to breath. And release your hands. Bring your hands to your hips with strong legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. And then you're going to want to have one block up at the front of your mat and one block at the back if you have them. If you don't have them, no worries. Sometimes they're just nice for where we're going to go. Okay, turn left toes forward, slide right heel back. Inhale, bring your arms out wide. And then exhale, hinge forward, come down, triangle pose. Right, so here's one nice place for a block if you like it. You can also always bring hand to shin, somewhere where the upper body stays open a little bit more. Okay, and then just like we did before, turn your thumb back, bend your elbow, reach around, right, hand to low back. Maybe it wraps around to the crease of the thigh. Maybe it doesn't get anywhere close. Right, squeeze legs in. And press down into your feet, roll your chest open. And just feel what that half bind here in the shoulder does for that space of the shoulder girdle, the direction that the shoulder's moving, and what that feels like in your body. And then we're going to aim towards keeping this half bind through this series of poses. If at any point, again, it gets like it feels like too much, let it go, right? Honor what your body needs, what it doesn't. Okay, look down at your front foot, and you can take your block with you if you want. Step your back foot in halfway, walk your left hand forward, and then reach your right leg up, half moon pose with the half bind. Roll your right hip open. Keep your right foot flexed just like you're standing on it. And then as you press down into your left foot, can you roll your right shoulder up a little bit more? And take a full breath in. And then with your exhale, bend your front knee. Take a big step back again. Keep the bind. So this time, stay bent in your front knee. So we're in this variation of side angle pose with the bind. And just make sure you step back enough that your left knee is over your left ankle or even behind. Good. Hug your heels in. Roll your chest open. Maybe starting to feel that little bit of sensation. Sensation's good, pain is not. Okay, inhale, unwind your arm, root through your feet, come all the way up, and then pivot your feet again to the long end of your mat. This time just reach both arms up, root through your feet, take a breath in, expand, so we get a little bit of space from there. And then turn your right toes to the back of your mat. Slide your left heel back just a couple of inches. Arms out wide, inhale. And then exhale, hinge forward, come down, triangle pose to the back. Again, maybe a block, maybe hand to shin. If your hand reaches the mat and it doesn't cause your chest to cave in, great, do that, right? Find the place that's good for you. And then with your top hand, your left hand, turn the thumb back. Bend your elbow, reach around. Just see where it gets to on this side. Range of motion might be really different side to side. And hug your heels in, root your feet down, and then can you roll your chest open? There's a little bit more space even within the bind. And keep lengthening the top of your head forward, right? Well, it'll be forward towards the back of your mat, but forward with your spine. Okay, again, maybe keep the bind, let it go at any point. If it doesn't work, look down. Step your back foot in halfway, and then walk your right hand forward until it's underneath your shoulder. Inhale, lift your back leg up, flex your foot, and then really press down into your right foot as you roll your left hip open. Can you stay long from your heel all the way out through the crown of your head? Full breath in. And then exhale, bend your front knee. Take a big step all the way back. Good. So you can keep your block here. You can always bring forearm to thigh. You got some options for your right arm there. And then find that engagement of legs as you squeeze back in. Roll your chest open. And just start to notice what sensation's doing here. Good. Unwind your top arm, reach up. Root through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Again, just stretch both arms up. Big breath in. And then exhale, hinge, fold forward. So you're in that wide-legged forward fold again. Right? You may want one of your blocks for this next one, so have it where you can reach it. Right? From this wide-legged forward fold, lift halfway. Walk your hands forward here so they're underneath your shoulders. Right? And then just balance the weight front to back in your feet. Sometimes when we do that, the weight goes all the way back into your heels and a little bit front to back. Root down. And then bring your left hand to the center of your mat underneath your nose. And this is where a block might be nice for a little bit more height. Bring right hand to hip. And as you inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Right. And I'm inviting you to start with your hand to your low back, your sacrum, right, that bone at the base of the spine. And just see where the hips are. Is the left hip wanting to come all the way with you in the twist? And if so, can you resist the left inner thigh back out to the left? Okay, so a few options here. You might choose to stay right here. Really good baseline. You can reach your right arm up, or you can take the bind here, turn your thumb back, bend your elbow, reach around. Okay, once you get to where you're at, lengthen through the crown of your head. Stay rooted through your feet. And then just roll from the upper body. All right, so it feels like the pelvis and the hips stay pretty level. And the twist, that range of motion with the bind, comes really through the upper part of the back, which really is our area that tends to be less mobile. Okay, inhale, unwind, reach your arm up. Come all the way back down. Well, both hands back down. Okay, switch sides, right hand to your block, left hand to your hip. Press down into your feet, stretch out through the crown of your head, and then twist to your left. Right, you can start here again with hand to your sacrum, and then you might stay here, right? This is a nice place to feel that the hips are level or working towards level. You can resist your right inner thigh out towards the right. You think, right, like if I set my mug of coffee there, would it stay? Or tea, whatever you've got. Right? Or reach your arm up. Or take the bind, turn your thumb back, reach around. Right, so that little action of turning the thumb back gives the shoulder internal rotation, right? As opposed to turning the thumbs out, like we do standing, that gives it the opposite, the external rotation. Strong legs, long spine, twist. Good. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, fold. You can set your block off to the side. Walk your hands to the front of your mat and then step back, down dog. Good. Make your hands really strong here in down dog, so spread through your fingers. And then press especially through your thumb and index finger here. Right, keep that, roll the eyes of the elbows up. That's going to start to take the shoulders again into that external rotation, just giving it a counter pose for what we've been doing. And then let the center of your chest soften back towards your legs. As you lift your armpits up towards the ceiling. Like we did before, they're not going to move a lot, but it's that little bit of traction and resistance. Next, inhale to toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips, root through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Take a breath. All right, we're going to move into some balance with some more of that internal rotation of the shoulders. So we're just prepping the action for maybe a little bit bigger bind later on. Maybe. Okay, start with feet together. Find your focus point. And then shift the weight into your left foot. Bring your right foot in for tree pose. You might keep toes down. This can be this nice little kickstand action to shin or to upper inner thigh. Right? You might even stand near a wall and have that. Find the place that feels right for you. Okay, and then bring your arms out wide. Turn your thumbs down, right? So same action, just different orientation. And then this time take your hands behind you. You may either press your palm or press your fists together, right? Like make a fist, press your knuckles together. That's a really good range of motion for many of us. If you have the space for it, you may take hands into reverse prayer behind you. Okay, wherever you're at, just give the hands or the fists a little press in to one another. See if that can create a little space even within the rotation of the shoulders. Right, all of this, and we're trying to balance. So root down into your left foot. Press right foot and left leg into one another so you get that sensation of hugging to midline. And breathe. Okay, with your next inhale, bring your right knee up towards your chest. And then exhale, take a step back. You want to take a little bit shorter stance so that your back heel is connected, right? So different from that stance we just had. You might even take your left foot out a little bit wider to the side, right? So that you can really root through your back heel and it feels like there's enough space side to side within your stance. And squeeze your inner legs towards one another. Lift through your belly. And then start to hinge forward. And just depending on your low back, your core, your shoulders, you might come forward just a few inches. That's great. You might come forward until your spine's a little bit more parallel to the ground. Keep pressing through your back heel. You really want to keep that connected. And traction your front foot down and forward. And so the further forward you fold, you might notice the elbows kind of want to drop with gravity. Can you lift elbows up, squeeze shoulder blades together, and then stay long out through the top of your head. Good. From that strength of the legs, inhale, stand all the way up. Release your arms, reach up. And then exhale, bend your front knee. Okay, we're going to change that compression of the shoulders a little here. Inhale, bring your arms out wide. Exhale, wrap left arm underneath eagle arms. You can do hands to shoulders, or you can wrap palms to one another. And again, give a little squeeze of your inner legs to center. Draw your outer left hip back. Right, again, still stay really connected through your back heel. If that means shortening the stance a little bit, do that. And then squeeze your forearms in towards center. Right, so from that internal rotation, now some compression on the front of the shoulders. Okay, and the same, we're going to work towards keeping this in the next transition. Let go at any point. All right, keep your elbows up in line with your shoulders. Hinge forward onto your to your left foot, and then lift your left leg up, warrior three with eagle arms. Okay, you don't have to lift your back leg high. Find the place where it feels strong rather than lifting all the way up. Keep your foot flexed and roll your right inner thigh up towards the ceiling. As you press your right heel back, stretch your fingertips forward. Take a full round of breath. Squeeze your arms. Guys, unwind. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. So actually do this. Bring your hands by your sides. Turn your palms forward. Soften your gaze and take a nice full breath. And we get to do all of that second side. I'm going to move to the other end of the mat so you can see. You can stay right where you are. Start with feet together. Gaze point for your eyes, right? And let that gaze point move with you as you need to in the transitions. Okay, tree pose. Stand into your right foot, bend left knee, toes down, foot to shin or inner thigh. Just come above or below your knee joint. Okay, steady. Inhale, arms out wide. Turn your thumbs down and then bend your elbows. Right, so again, either make fists and you're pressing that knuckles together, right? Or you can bring hands, reverse prayer. And reverse prayer might be lower, might be a little bit higher up between shoulder blades. We're all going to have a really different range of motion. Okay, root through your standing foot. Squeeze your legs to midline. Tone your belly for support in the balance. And then press into your hands, especially that thumb side of your hands if you're in reverse prayer. So where within this inward rotation of the shoulders, right? We don't want to necessarily hunch and follow that, but we want to create space around it, right? So that the shoulders can open. You can think about that too as like squeezing your shoulder blades back. Okay, and then we'll take the transition from here. Hold where you can, let go when it feels like the better choice for you. Inhale, bring your left knee up. Exhale, big step back, right? Warrior one legs, which means back heel down. Toes turned out an inch or two. And then you might even take right foot a little wider. Bring your front leg towards straight, right? And it doesn't always land right where we want, so adjust your feet. Squeeze your legs to center. Draw your right hip back. And then as you press through your feet, lengthen your spine. Exhale, start to fold, whether that's an inch or two forward or spine a little bit more parallel towards the ground. Notice what your elbows are doing. Do they want to come with you? Lift elbows up and squeeze shoulder blades together, right? How does that feel different? Keep pressing down into your feet, especially right foot down and forward. Tone belly. Breathe. And inhale, stand all the way up, reach both arms up. And then exhale, bend your front knee. Right? Sometimes I even like a little bit longer stance in warrior one than pyramid. See what feels right for you. Okay, bring your arms out wide. Inhale. Exhale, eagle arms. Right arm under left. Either hands to shoulders. Like that's still going to give you compression on the front. Or wrap hands. Right, legs strong. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. Keep your gaze forward. And then see if you can really squeeze those points of contact where your arms meet. Okay, again, maybe this comes with you in the transition. Let it go at any point. Hinge forward to your right foot. Float your left leg up, warrior three. Right, back leg strong. Roll your inner left thigh up to help level your pelvis. Tone your belly. And then stretch your fingertips forward as you press your heel back. Squeeze arms. Good. Next inhale, unwind your arms, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Let's do the same. Bring your arms long by your sides. Turn your palms forward. And just feel shoulders roll open. Feel the space there. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Lift halfway, take a breath in. Exhale, fold, hands down, step back, high plank. Good. Take a full breath here in plank. And then with your exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Good. This time, you guys, Sphinx pose, come up onto your forearms. And you can stack elbows right underneath shoulders. If that's a lot of back bend, move them forward a little bit. Okay, find the right place. Strong legs. Zip up through your low belly. And then press down into your elbows, traction them back towards your hips. Draw your shoulder blades back. And just take a couple full breaths into that space. Good. Lower all the way down. Hands by your sides. Stretch back, down dog. Okay, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee towards nose and step your foot all the way through. You can always grab the ankle, help it along. Turn your back heel down so you get that heel to heel alignment now. Grab your strap on the way up. Okay, so we're gonna work towards the full bind with the strap. You can stay in that transition place like we had before, or that first variation with the half bind. That's a great place to practice, right? For some of us, full binds are a good place to be. We know that not every pose is for everybody, right? So we find the right place for us. So you're going to start with, if you're going to try with the strap, your strap laying over your front thigh. Okay, front knee bent. Bring your forearm to your thigh, left forearm to thigh, reach right arm up. And then just breathe. Allow your body to work with whatever it's got today. Right, so again, now thumb back, bend your elbow, reach around. Great starting point. You can stay just like we did before, or reach back. You're going to take that end of the strap that you can reach behind you. And then maybe stay here, right? Or you're going to take your left arm and you're going to reach the part of the strap that's behind your thigh, right? So it's on the outer edge of the thigh, right? And you may not even need a strap, maybe hands reach, great. Right, so now we're in this pretty compressed, hunched forward place, shoulders working in funny directions, and squeeze heels together. And then as you press down into your feet, traction your arms, right? Hands away from one another on the strap and roll your chest open. Where can you create space within the bind? Keep your outer left hip hugging in and under, and work towards lengthening out through the crown of your head. Breathe. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg, bound triangle. Sometimes I have to work the strap up a little bit for that. Keep pressing down, rolling open. Okay, here's going to be the fun one. Look down at your front foot. Take a big step in with your back foot. Right, really traction your hands away from one another. Press into your left foot. And then maybe start to float your right leg up. Maybe it might just hover, we might wobble a little bit, That's fine. Right, bound, half moon. Breathe. Breath in. And then exhale, bend your front knee, step all the way back. Ooh, start to unwind your hands from the strap. Stand all the way up. Here, guys, just set your strap off to the side for a moment. Come back to wide-legged forward fold. Reach both arms up. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, hinge, fold forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Can let your upper body sway a little bit side to side. Or even take a hold of opposite elbows. Good. And then bring your hands to your hips. Press down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. We'll take that to the back. Right? So turn your right toes back. Bend your front knee. Slide your left heel back just an inch or two. Right? So think leg standing on a tightrope-ish. Right? More in that direction, right, than wide side to side. Okay. Strap to your thigh. Or you can say, that's great. I'm going to stay with the half bind. Right, bring your forearm to your thigh. Reach your top arm up. Turn your thumb back. Bend your elbow. Reach around. Okay. And maybe stay here. Maybe just hold the strap. Or you're going to take your right elbow down. Reach the end of the strap that's behind the leg. Right? And if hands clasp here and you don't need the strap, great, ditch it. And then just as we get into that position, notice where your body is, pretty hunched in and compressed. So strengthen your legs, squeeze in. And then as you press down into your feet, roll your chest open. Right? Left ribs up, left shoulder back. Okay, right leg's doing a lot of work here. So squeeze the sitting bone in and under. Lengthen out through the top of your head. Breathe. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Bound triangle. Stay long through your spine. Rooted through your feet. Okay, we can stay here. We're going to play with that bound half moon. So look down at your front foot. You can bend the knee. Take a step forward. So we just start to transition the weight. And then anchor through your right foot. I find it really helpful to really traction the hands. And then maybe start to play with floating your left leg up. Right? And it might just be a little hover off the mat. Or your leg might lift a little bit more. Stay rooted through your right foot. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, bend your front knee, step all the way back. Okay, release the strap. Set it off to the side. Turn your feet again to the long end of your mat. Take a big breath in, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward. Right, hands to your mat or take a hold of opposite elbows. Take a couple breaths. And with your next inhale, release your hands, lift halfway. And then exhale, walk your hands to the front of your mat. Step back, down dog. You can set your strap off to the side. And let's do that little traction of the shoulders one more time. Right, so as you press down through your thumb and index finger, roll the eyes of your elbows up. Traction your hands down and forward. And then let your chest and your head soften between your arms. And you keep that and feel like you could lift the underside of the elbows up just a little bit. And now feel the space that comes in. Good, full breath in. And with your exhale, child's pose. Right, bring your knees down, knees wide, big toes together. Reach your arms out in front. Soften your head down to your mat. Take a couple of breaths. And then walk your hands back. Come all the way down onto your back. And once you get there, bend your knees, place your feet to your mat. Right, so feet hip width, walk your heels in towards your sitting bones. And then stretch your arms along by your sides. We're going to do this a little different today. Turn your palms up, right? So often we do this with palms down. And you might even give yourself a little space in between your hips and your hands, like 8-10 inches or so. Good. Let the back of your head settle, shoulders drop back. Keep your arms active as you press down into your hands and your arms. Notice what that does for the space in your chest. Keep that inhale, lift your hips up, bridge pose. And your hips don't have to lift high. They might come up halfway, might come up a little higher. And then just one at a time, lift the shoulder, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath. And then press into your feet, but also keep pressing into the backs of your hands, especially the thumb and index finger, to keep rolling the shoulders open. Good, full breath in. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Take a breath. We're going to do one more round. And just keep snuggling that space of the shoulders underneath to open the front where we had a good amount of compression throughout practice. Okay, backs of hands down, press. Inhale, lift hips. Right, really press into your heels, traction them towards your hips, and get strong legs, and lengthen your knees away from your hips. And then you can just pick up one side of the shoulder, snuggle the shoulder blades under, and then really press down into your forearms, the backs of your hands. Lift your chin up towards your chest. Nope, sorry, lift your chest up towards your chin. Chest towards chin, back of head down. One more breath in. And then exhale, lower all the way down. And walk your feet out a little wider, let your knees rest together. Relax your arms. Take a couple breaths. And then you can stay right here for Shavasana, for our final resting pose, if that feels like a good choice. Sometimes this is really nice for your low back. You may also choose to stretch your legs out long. If you want any support, take a moment to set that up. But see if you can keep that snuggle of your shoulder blades underneath. Right, turn your palms up. You may even take hands a little wider. Just find where it's comfortable. Close your eyes. And allow your back body to start to settle in. See if you can really now let the weight of the shoulders drop back. Without a lot of effort, can your breath go there? And just start to notice the space that's there now. Sometimes it takes, right, finding those awkward places, right? We take away the space to then become a little bit more aware of it after. And just enjoy these last few moments of rest here. And start to take some fuller breaths again. With your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. And then exhale, draw your knees towards your chest, roll to your side, and press yourself all the way back up to sitting. Bring your hands together at your heart. Right, sit tall, gently press your hands together and drop your shoulders back and down. Maybe there's a little bit more space there. Just notice what it feels like throughout the rest of the day. Thank you so much for sharing the practice today. Namaste.